Great, great, great. Let us study some documents, okay? So we learned something called as RTM. What is RTM, Kitana?
Requirement traceability matrix.
Requirement traceability matrix, so that all the requirements are covered in the form of test cases, or all the requirements and test cases are mapped against each other, or will not miss out testing any requirement. So let us see the template of RTM. First is the requirement. Then is the module name or number. Then is the requirement again. There is two type of requirement: high level requirement, and next is the low level requirement. And then the next thing is the test cases. This is a requirement number. Suppose requirement number 2. Module name is loan. Now high level requirement is home loan. Low level requirement is home loan for government employee. Home loan for private employee. Requirement number, okay. Now requirement number 5. No. Module is accounts. Account for employees. Okay. High level, low level requirement is home loan account for government employee. And next is account for private employee. Okay. Now here we will write the test cases. So let us write down the test cases. Yeah. How the test case is written? Release name. Suppose release name is Cheetah. Then version name. Then module name. Module name is home loan. And then we'll write here for government employees. Home loan for private employees. Next. Account for government employee account for private employees. So this is the RTM. I told you all the requirements are covered in the form of test cases. There are two requirements here, low level requirement, and for every requirement there's a test case written. This is the template for RTM. RTM. Okay, fine. Next. Let me just take one more. There is something called as test case review template. Do you remember that? I told you the reviewer will give the commands in a separate template called as test case review template. Test case name or number, step name or number, reviewer commands, author command. Now, suppose test case number, test case name or number, test case is Cheetah 1.0 amount transfer. Okay, and step number is suppose some step number 3. The reviewer comment is more positive values for fan field, and then some people write severity here, so that is also correct. We will also add severity. That is fine. Severity means importance of that particular comment. Severity is suppose a critical one. This is just a minor one. More negative values for Stanfield. Okay. Then is the next step is suppose step not applicable. It is in the header section, so there is no step name or number. This is number. Okay. Step name or number. Okay. Precondition is missing. Who is giving these comments? Reviewer. Then the next comment he has given is step number 7, required more negative values for amount field. Now author is what? The test engineer. Author is who? The test engineer. Okay. So now let me just give the borders. Let me just put it the coloring. More positive. Now this is the comment given by the reviewer for the amount transfer page, and now author will give the comment. More positive value, more positive values for fan field. So I will just give more positive value for one fan field and will write this fixed. More negative values for the right fixed for tan field. Precondition is missing. Suppose he wants to tell that it's not required. So author will give the comment. It is not required. Or more negative values for amount field fixed. So this comment is given by the author, and these comments are given by the reviewer, and then again it will go to the reviewer, and if he thinks that this is not required, he will just write his comments here fixed. So now if it is still required, he will tell no, I want the precondition to be there. And if he thinks that okay, precondition is required, he will write fixed. Or if it is not required, he will again write it's not required until both accepts for the correctness of test case. So this is test case review template now. So to remember this RTM template, just to remember, okay, R and then M. Take this R for requirement number, M for module name or number, then again take this R, requirement, and again take this T, test cases. Requirement is high level requirement and low level requirement. So this is how I remember. Just take the R, then M, and then take the R, and then take the T. And to remember the test case review template, test cases review template. To remember the test case review template, TESRA I remember. So just to remember TESRA. T for name is test case name or number, S is step name or number, R for reviewer comment, and A for is the author comment, and here we can give the severity. So this is just to remember. So this is test case review template. So today we'll talk about something called as, we'll not take much more topic, we'll take impact analysis. Impact analysis, it is a process to identify impact or affected area. There are three kinds of reports given to identify the impacted area. First report given by the customer based on his business knowledge, he will give a report to identify the impact or affected area and the impact test cases affected area which has been affected, and based on the test cases will be selected. Next is the developers. Based on the coding knowledge, he will send his report. Next is the test engineer. based on the product knowledge, he will send his report. Based on these reports, the test engineer will identify the affected or impacted area. Based on this report, the test engineer will identify the affected or impacted area and pick the corresponding test cases for regression testing. So this is how we identify the impacted or affected area. One report, the customer will tell these are the features which would have affected in release 2, because in release 2 these features might have affected of release 1. Developer will give some reports. Reports in the sense they will tell these are the test cases might have got affected. And test engineer will give a report based on his knowledge, product knowledge, that these test cases might have got affected. So based on this, these reports, based on these reports, the test engineer who is majorly involved, this test engineer is given some test cases based on his product knowledge, which would have got affected. And based on that only, the test engineer will see all these 3 reports. If he is only the test engineer, then these 2 report and his report. Based on these 3, he will identify the affected or impact area and pick the corresponding test cases for regression testing. So this is the way we identify the impact area or affected area or the particular test cases for regression testing. Majorly, the test engineer has to think based on his understanding which feature would have got affected or which feature would not have got affected. So majorly, the test engineer only decides on things to identify the impact area or the affected area. So this is what is called as impact analysis, a process to identify the impact or affected area. This is the impact analysis. Next topic we are going to learn. We'll learn something called as RTM. It's called as what? Requirement traceability matrix, which we have already studied. And in RTM, what happens, suppose the RTM is prepared by whom? It's prepared by the test engineers, and what he will do is he will prepare the RTM. Okay, now. So RTM I have already taken for you. You remember RTM I have taken or not? Tell me yes, no. So question sometimes is asked, who prepares the RTM document? So in some companies, this will be only the test engineer who will prepare. But in a very standard companies, what will happen is test engineer will prepare the RTM with respect to his module. I will write like this. Every test engineer will prepare the RTM with respect to his module and send it to the test lead, and the test lead will prepare the consolidated RTM document. So this is what is the things we are going to learn today. So today we have learned three things. First, I told you the test case review template. Then I taught you the RTM template. Then we talked about impact analysis. So these are the reports based on that the impact area or the affected area is founded out. And then we talked about the RTM, which we have already studied. I just wanted to highlight the question. So who prepares the RTM? So every test engineer will prepare the RTM with respect to his module, and the test lead will prepare the consolidated RTM.